The family of slain Collins Chabane Municipality Mayor Maluleke says his state funeral will be held next week Tuesday. He was gunned down at his home last Thursday while his 18-year-old son was wounded in that incident. Police are now investigating the murder, and a 250,000 rand reward has been offered for any information that can lead to arrest.
And they came to inform us as a family that they are declaring this funeral to be a state funeral, which is something that we really appreciate, because we have to understand the person that we are all mourning as a community, as a Collins Chabane, as a municipality. It's someone that was a #1 citizen in the Collins Chabane in the municipality. So the government is doing everything that is expected from them as a family, all the arrangements that we should be doing as a family in preparation of laying our brother in a resting place. The government is helping a lot to make sure that at the end of the day we do everything to honor him in a very dignified way. We are preparing almost everything according to our tradition and custom, and we are also doing it according to what the government wants us to do. So the funeral arrangement is ongoing. The funeral will take place on Tuesday, the 2nd of August. That is what is going to happen.
Our reporter Pelane Phakgadi is following that story from Xikundu village in Limpopo. Pelane, that village, of course, having really been deeply struck by this crime that has taken place. It seems to have caught everybody off guard, but big questions about what the motive behind it may have been.
The big question, Kathy, at this current moment, and the law enforcement agencies are currently working around the clock. You do remember that the police commission at the time has activated around the 72-hour plan, and that was already last Saturday. That's last Thursday, rather, Kathy, and there's just been work since then, and there's been no word from law enforcement agencies, at least until last night when they did make that announcement that there'll be 250,000 rand of reward for any individual that comes forward with information that could lead to the arrest and or a conviction of that particular culprit, if not culprits, if they are in their numbers. So that information from the law enforcement agencies is what we do understand. But funeral arrangements are currently underway. There will be a full civic funeral on Tuesday, where all the ANC members that we do understand have been close to him will be coming through down, and as well as to give way for the policy conference which is being held during the weekend. So the family has agreed, in line with African National Congress, that the funeral be postponed to at least next Tuesday, so that they can be able to lay Maluleke to rest. And at this kind of moment, we have seen that the Provincial Secretary Ruben Madaji is also here. He was attending the memorial service here today, the family memorial service here today, and as well as a prayer session that has been ongoing since last Thursday, and it will still be continuing at least until next Tuesday from what we see. But law enforcement agencies, of course, still very much on the tracks of the alleged perpetrators.
Pelane, is there any information that his son has been able to give the authorities that could provide some leads in the investigation?
From our understanding as Newzroom Afrika is that there has been somewhat some movement as far as the law enforcement agencies is concerned, in conjunction, of course, with the son, who is still very much battling for his life in hospital, recuperating, we are told, but he is still at the care of medical practitioners at a hospital, of course, unknown by the family. And in that regard, we do understand that there's been cooperation between not only the son, who was wounded during that particular altercation within the home, but as well as the family, who may have been aware of what had happened, the neighbors as well. We do understand that there is a lot of people who were still on the streets at the time. They may have not seen anything because it was dark, but they did hear the gunshots, and the police are currently, of course, in talks with them so that they can be able to understand the nature of the crime in itself, how it had happened, and of course who may be possibly behind this hideous crime. So there is still that interactions between the people of interest and as well as the police, who may ultimately come through to give an update. The Provincial Secretary Ruben Madaji earlier on Newzroom Afrika saying that the Provincial Commissioner must really be in a position to bring some confidence to the province and as well as to the local people here as to what is the progress, if any, so that they can be able to have an understanding and people could be able to be in a position to at least have some sense of relief that work is being done. Because remember, Kathy, last week, just after that particular incident, there was already really the community preparing to have their own investigations, and there was just a lot of uproar, and the provincial ANC had to come here to talk to the communities so that they can allow law enforcement agencies to do their work. So that said, there is still that work that still needs to be done and communicated to the public, and that was the call made by Ruben Madaje, who is the Secretary of the province.
So, Pelane, just briefly, the fact that there's no clarity of where the threat comes from, how has this translated into the work that is being done at the municipality and also the municipal offices? I mean, are people still showing up for work every single day as expected? Have there been any changes in security there?
There is a somber mood in the municipality of Collins Chabane, in fact, because a lot of the officials were here at the family home as well as attending the prayer session, and actually one of them, who's a technical director, did speak to us on record here on Newzroom Afrika, telling us that they are actually fearing for their lives because they don't know the motive of which led to the killing of the mayor, and they've been working quite closely with the mayor, and if it has to do with anything administrative, they also feel that their lives could be in danger. He was also alluding to the fact that just preparing for the funeral has been quite a thorny issue for them and a painful one, because they feel that they have to look over their shoulders, and that working with Moses Maluleke quite closely may have triggered, and even as a matter of fact may have made whoever the perpetrators aware of the work that they have been doing administratively, and in that regard could be a sense of them having to lose a little bit of trust as far as their safety is concerned. But they are still very much happy that there's still at least some sort of movement as far as the law enforcement agencies is concerned. And maybe just briefly, in just 30 seconds, to give you an indication of what Collins Chabane is. The municipality came into effect in 2016 after an uproar from the Maluleke community that they demanded their own municipality. So over the last 7 years or so, there's been intensive capital that has been driven into the municipality. Quite a number of tenders are here in the municipality, not to cast any aspersions as to what could have led to this particular incident, but the understanding of the municipality is that it's capital intensive driven, and a lot of interest is in the municipality as far as administration is concerned, and as well as the kind of work that it does. So officials are a little bit scared currently to go to work safely, because they do feel that with the kind of work that have been doing to try and bring about development in the Collins Chabane municipality, they also could be next.
All right. Pelane Phakgadi, we'll leave it there for tonight. So, as you heard there, the investigations then continue.